Hey, everybody, we're at chapter 4 in Sojourner's Path. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not going to talk too much. I just want to get into the chapter, but I will give you a little recap. So far, we have learned about Allie, her home life, and some dynamics within her family, and about her brother's family and his 2 kids and wife, Tammy. And we also learned a little bit about her working life and her church life, which is kind of interesting. The last chapter had a lot to do with her church life, and that was kind of little different. And we'll find out what kind of person that Allie is as we go forward and why this was so important to her. Okay, let's dive into chapter 4. I know you're waiting, so all right, ready? It was early Tuesday evening when Allie got a call from Dan. Hey, Allie, how are you? Fine, she cautiously answered. It wasn't often he called her at home. Do you have a minute? You're not eating dinner or... No, just sitting on the porch. What's up? We're going to need to move that meeting on Thursday with Roger to a week from today. He's had something come up. Must be serious. The conference room's booked up fast. If they had any hope of getting one, she'd have to take care of this ASAP. I'll rebook first thing tomorrow, she said, making a mental note. Actually, could you go to the office now? You can clock in overtime. Dan had the capability to book conference rooms from home. He must be in a bind to ask her to go to the office. Though it didn't make sense, she couldn't exactly tell him no, and she'd already alluded her schedule was free. I thought you had remote access. Yep, but I'm out right now. Do you have something planned? Tonight? No, So could you? Now it was her turn to be flustered. Sure, I guess. I'll go now. Great. He exhaled the word with relief. Same time? She felt silly asking, but in these matters, confirmation was always a good thing. Yeah, and make sure to get the same catering as well. Oh, okay. Thanks for taking care of it. I'll make sure there's an extra chocolate in my drawer for you. As if he'd winked and added a smile, the phone cut off. Over the drive to the office, Allie replayed the call with Dan in her head. There was something about it she felt was different. Then again, he didn't normally call her, so it could just be his phone etiquette or the awkwardness of the situation. After 9:30 p.m., she pulled into the Trammer offices. The company specialized in being the middleman to the little guy, mom-and-pop shops, convenience stores, etc., bringing products to them via the larger conglomerates, much of it done over the phone and through the internet. There was a call center at a separate location, which dealt with the stores. The office where Allie worked dealt with the suppliers. She pulled into the parking lot close to the west side entrance, flashed her key card in front of the magnetic lock to open the door, and made her way to the second floor where her cubicle was. The office was void of humanity. The cleaning crew had already left. Cubicles looked like an Escher drawing in an abyss. It was hard to navigate the maze, though she'd seen it in daylight for over 4 years. Her cell phone became a guide to her destination. When Allie reached her desk, she managed to turn on the computer. The soft glow of electricity hummed through the machine. It lit up, allowing visibility, and to a small extent, comfort in the midst of darkness. There was a pressing anxiety surrounding her. It seemed like ages until the desktop calendar opened. In this app, all the admins had a separate calendar to add appointments, set tasks, and schedule rooms for meetings. She could also see who booked conference rooms and at what times. Allie opened the conference room's schedule to see what was available next Tuesday. There were 2 openings available for 11 a.m. One was a smaller conference room for intimate settings, and another was a little bigger, but had large windows and a view of the meadow behind the building. Knowing this was a big client and Dan was bringing in a fully catered lunch, she chose the larger of the 2 with the nicest view. A tapping noise startled Allie. It was bad enough to be in an unlit office for after hours. Worse when unfamiliar noises begin. She sat still, listening to the sound. It was on the north side of the room, near the copiers. Could be a system update. She knew the copy machines run through diagnostic checks at different times, usually when no one would be using them. She listened a little longer and, deciding it was a self-maintenance cycle, began shutting down her computer. Another disturbance from the same room, whirring as the equipment warmed up. Something was being printed. This time, curiosity got the better of Allie. Her cell phone in hand, armed with its flashlight, she wandered over to the copy room. After so many distractions, the office took on an eerie quality. Allie's mind started to ponder the possibilities. Who's working this late? All the offices had windows. Even with the blinds down, there would be light if in use. Another explanation would be they were in a smaller conference room. Why do that? They should have a desk somewhere. Why not work from there? Suddenly, the big cannon in the corner began shooting out documents. There were several sheets printing at once, from front to back. Copies of what looked like a contract of some kind of yellowish type of paper resembling papyrus. She picked up a page to feel the woven texture. That's odd. A figure appeared in the doorway. Allie yelped in surprise, taken aback by the intrusion of Sandra, the head manager of the sales division. Allie hardly ever saw her. She was always out of the office visiting customers. Hello. Sandra looked peeved. Allie was holding her chest with one hand and catching her breath. Sandra, sorry, I didn't know anyone else was here. Neither did I. She half smiled, feigning empathy. Late night? You work too hard. A flush of heat engulfed Allie's face. No, I had to come back. Just here to change the meeting with Roger from Hikaro Foods to next Tuesday. Oh. Sandra walked past her and gathered the printed documents, causing Allie to sidle closer to the door. Leafing through them, Sandra continued. But couldn't Dan have done that from home? Allie felt if she answered contrary to what Sandra wanted, there would be an intense scrutinization of her department in the days to come. Something told her to end the conversation there, but nervous energy and pressure got the better of her. She made the mistake of offering too much. He would have, but wasn't home, and you know how fast the conference rooms fill up. Hikaro Foods is one of our biggest accounts, so he asked me to come in and take care of it. As the words came out, Allie knew she'd made a mistake. Sandra would most likely use the information against Dan. Still reading her precious documents, Sandra pursed her lips and murmured, I'm done, so I'm heading out. Allie saw an opportunity for a quick escape. She was retreating out the door when Sandra said, See you tomorrow. She froze, as would an animal caught in headlights, but quickly recovered. Okay. See ya. Wednesday morning, Allie was anxious. She waited for Sandra's hammer to fall on her head, or Dan's. If she confronts Dan, I'll never hear the end of it. What am I worried about? It's not like I wanted to be there. Then again, I don't want Dan getting in trouble. Why was she there so late without the lights on anyway? She wasn't at her desk. Where'd she come from? Deep in thought, Allie coasted through the morning, performing all the mundane tasks she normally did before the team arrived. She'd even picked up some pastries and coffee from Tiki's Donuts, just in case there was a windfall of carnage awaiting them. After a half hour, she fumbled with the tag on her shirt, which was causing discomfort, then stretched her arms high toward the ceiling. Good morning. Dan was exceedingly chipper today. This both relieved and annoyed Allie. She was glad of his good mood because of what she had to tell him, and irritated. He probably had a good night's rest while she was tossing all night, sick with worry. Spying the extravagant array of confections, he exclaimed, Ooh, someone loves me. Without waiting for anyone to give permission, Dan shoved a large blueberry Danish partway in his gob and held it there while grabbing coffee, removing the lid and sniffing its caffeinated goodness. Then he plopped down at his desk and switched on the computer, happily munching on pastry and sipping coffee. If his mouth wasn't already engaged, Allie was sure he'd break out in song. "You're welcome." Allie smiled, but still felt uneasy. She needed to talk to him before the rest of the sales team came in. "Are these from Tiki's?" he said through bitefuls of Danish. "Mm-hmm," she confirmed. "Oh, I love Tiki's." The computer beeped and went from black to the desktop background, grabbing his attention. He swizzled more coffee with a stir stick and sipped contently. Allie hated to kill the mood, but couldn't carry the possible ruination of her boss a second longer. "I got the meeting moved last night." Dan stopped looking at his monitor and turned. She had his full attention. "Which room did you book?" "Conference room D. That okay?" "Perfect. Same time?" "Yes. It was open till 3. "Good." But there was a hiccup. His brow furrowed, but he wasn't showing any other signs of concern, still consuming his beverage and snack. "What?" Allie watched him and continued. "Sandra was there." "Oh." His face froze. "What'd she say?" "She asked why you didn't do it remotely. Told her you were out and couldn't, so I took care of it." It was the truth. There was no reason for Allie to be there otherwise. Whatever Dan had been up to, she hoped his explanation was great. Sandra would definitely question why he couldn't take care of rebooking the meeting remotely and why his admin was putting in overtime to do it. "Ah," was all Dan said. Just as he did, the 3 sales personnel for the team came in: Tanya, Joe, and Eli. Once they saw the delicious spread on the wing of her cubicle, there was no use talking about last night's dilemma anymore. Chaos ensued as tiger tails, bear claws, coffee, and other sweet doughs were taken from the tray. The hum of computers being switched on, phones, and office chatter began quickly, like horses breaking out of the gate. It wasn't until 9:20 a.m. Sandra made an appearance and asked Dan to escort her back to her office. Allie watched them go. Sandra wouldn't fire him, but there was bound to be repercussions for what transpired last night. Even if he had the best reason in the world, their head manager would find it unacceptable. 5 minutes later, Dan came back to his desk, crestfallen. All the joy accompanying him this morning seemed to sit heavily, like a partially digested Danish. During lunch, most of the office went to a food truck parked in the center of 4 businesses. Her office, a plastic manufacturer next door, a technical college, and a small urgent care clinic. This guaranteed the restaurateur a decent turnout. They served a bohemian flair, satisfying both the urban socialite and grungy college student. Prices were usually on the upscale side, but the students somehow managed to walk away with something in their budget. Allie packed her lunches. If it was provided on the company's dime, that was fine, but she wasn't about to spend her modest earnings on something easily created at home. A little pre-planning made lunch just as fabulous as anything off the truck. She watched the team go out together. Just she and Dan remained at their desks. Allie pulled out her cold lunch pack from the drawer, unpacking it. Dan seemed too distracted to worry about eating. He was reading emails on the computer quietly, which was rare. Usually, Dan was on the phone with a customer, telling jokes and making small talk. Now he was just staring, reminding her of a dog with an empty bowl, waiting for their owner to feed them. Poor guy. She must have really laid into him. Sandra was a very cut and dry kind of boss. She liked facts and had a long memory. She didn't suffer fools and didn't take guff. She was a highly skilled career woman who took pride in making all the human cogs within the building work to her standards and would either remove or restructure those who didn't. Allie thought about asking Dan what happened, but decided it would cross a line of respect between them. She should focus on lunch and not worry about it. It wasn't her place to ask. "Ha!" Dan exclaimed, spinning in his chair, a big smile from ear to ear. Allie jumped so hard she almost threw the container of strawberry and spinach salad. Wide-eyed, she looked at him incredulously, frozen in place. Dan was beaming like a Cheshire cat, raised his eyebrows up and down. "Found a loophole." For what? Dan clapped his hands together, beaming. Going on vacay. Just found 3 extra comp days I haven't used. So you won't be seeing me come 2 months' time. That is, if I can get Sandra to approve it. Oh, where are you going? Allie was confused. He was trampled bug 30 seconds ago. Going to see the Civil War reenactments in Virginia. His passion for the exhibition seemed to expand with a swelling of pride and nostalgia. My family has ties to Little Powell. Allie had no idea who he meant. She didn't aspire to the depths of knowledge concerning the United States Civil War. Dan obviously did. He took vacation around the same time most years, and now she knew why. So everything's okay? Allie decidedly tiptoed around the topic of last night's shenanigans. He looked at her confused. Yeah? Why? When you came out of Sandra's office, you looked like she shot your dog, Allie exclaimed. Yeah, 'cause it looked like I wasn't going to get vacation. Sandra thought I didn't have enough days. She wasn't looking at my comp days, though. But what about last night? Didn't she talk to you about it? Dan batted away her concerns with a flick of his wrist. Oh, that. Nah, it's fine. She just wanted to make sure I actually sent you here to change the schedule. Allie was gobsmacked. All the worry about Dan, and she was the one in question. Me? Dan just raised his shoulders to his ears and closed his eyes. She could have wrung his neck. It was his fault her loyalties were being questioned. He continued. Told her I couldn't make it in and remote access wasn't available. And she was fine with it? Yeah, everything's good. Sure, for you. It might be over for Dan, but Allie saw the way Sandra dealt with her coworkers when ethics were investigated. To be under Sandra's watchful eye was a work environment she didn't want or need. Dan went back to his computer. He whistled contently as he sent an email off to HR. Allie turned away from him in her desk chair and stewed over his flippancy while she ate lunch. And that's the end of chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you really enjoyed these chapters, please send me a message, a comment, and like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing one more chapter after this. And then if you would like to download 9 chapters absolutely free, which is part 1, please visit my website, amycarillo.weebly.com, under the books section, and you'll find links to take you to that step. Okay? And any other questions, just let me know. Have a great and wonderful day.